try to make this video without crying, if that's possible. Alright, I guess I'll start from the beginning. We found out we were pregnant with Nehemiah around last year at February. My grandma passed in January of last year. So about a month later, we found out we were pregnant, and I was nervous, I was anxious and scared, and because we had a miscarriage, maybe a year or so before that. I was just really scared, but I thought maybe, when my grandma passed and everything, I thought, that was God's way of bringing life back to our family and, things like that. So I kind of looked at it as a symbol of hope and God, giving us life again. So the pregnancy went well. So around 20 weeks, we found out he had a cyst on his umbilical cord. It's extremely rare. They'd never seen anything like it before. So I was told to enjoy my pregnancy, like everything was normal. Of course, I was worried, and I tried not to focus on it too much. But I thought maybe the worst case scenario, he'll be born with a disability or something like that, I never thought he would, die. So after 20 weeks, I was being monitored every 4 weeks, ultrasound, and so we found out at 31 weeks, his heart stopped beating. As I look back on my stillbirth video, it just don't seem real, and it just really hurts. Over time, the hurt is still there, but it doesn't hurt as much. But it seemed like today when I talk about it, all those feelings come back again, So it's hard. I wouldn't wish anything like this on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. It's awful. But life since the stillbirth video, I've been trying to stay hopeful, and I share my story a lot with other women here on YouTube and on Facebook, and that's how I found my strength, through my family and sharing my story since we had Nehemiah. It's been hard. There's some good days and bad days too, and more good days than bad days, So in October, we buried his ashes in a garden at the hospital. And we had like a memorial service. It was beautiful. Every year on October the 15th is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Day, Remembrance Day, and that's the day we'll probably continue to honor him and his burial. And we had a candlelight service, and that was beautiful. I don't know, I really don't even know what to say. As far as physically, I feel good. Physically, I'm completely normal, and I feel the same. But emotionally, it's just when I think about them, that's when the hurt come back and those feelings come back. But other than that, I usually stay pretty strong. But I always tell you guys, my faith, that's what's kept me grounded. My family, that's what's kept me grounded. And not feeling stressed out. Because when I found out Nehemiah died, I just wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore. When they told me his heart stopped beating, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm ready to go. I didn't want to live anymore. It was awful. I just couldn't imagine going through that process, and just been tough. As far as my relationship with my husband, I would say it's definitely brought us much closer. I just couldn't imagine going through that or going through this with anybody else. And I'm grateful for him. He's the type of guy that really don't show his emotions that much. And he'll say things, but, he won't cry or anything like that. But I would say it's definitely brought us closer emotionally. And so he's been there for me, and I'm just grateful for that, because something like this, it can easily rip a relationship apart. But I'm grateful for God that it brought us closer, and, we're able to, remember him and be okay about that. And he's always reminded me, Nehemiah's in heaven, and, try not to cry or be sad because he's in a better place. So that's what he always reminds me when I think about Nehemiah and when I'm hurt or sad. So again, I tell you guys, the pain doesn't go away, but it gets easier over time. I would say it definitely gets easier over time, but the first few months, it was rough. It was really tough. I was depressed. Just thought about death a lot and how I was going to die and everybody's going to die. And I had really bad negative thoughts after I had Nehemiah. It was really bad. But over time, I started to think more positive about life, more positive about people. It was difficult. It's a journey, y'all. It's real tough. But so as far as what brought us here now, as far as trying to conceive, for the first few months I was extremely traumatized. I didn't even want to be touched. So the thought of, trying again was not an option for me at all. It was hurtful. So I would say around the New Year's, around January, we had the thoughts of trying again. Our initial goal was to wait till actually the baby's 1 year anniversary to try again. But I thought we felt ready sooner. So we started trying around Mother's Day, and here we are today. So today I'm 16 weeks pregnant. Pregnant after a stillbirth is very tough, very challenging. And when you start to think about trying to conceive again, you kind of prepare yourself, okay, there's a possibility this baby can't make it, may not make it either. But you just kind of mentally and emotionally prepare yourself for the pregnancy and all the emotions that come with it. It's extremely scary, and that's completely normal. But I've been hanging in there, but I stay strong, and I've been doing a lot of recovery things. I do walks for the baby and things like that, and I do the videos in remembrance of him. So I think I've been doing better. Today it just kind of caught me off guard, So I really appreciate you guys following my journey, and I really didn't know what to say in this video. It's just hard. I'll probably say more later on, but today it just really caught me off guard. But today I'm hopeful. Having a pregnancy after loss, it makes you more hopeful. It doesn't fix what happened last year. It doesn't fix losing a baby or a child. But it just makes you feel, the only word I can describe is more hopeful. That things will be better and that the sun will shine again. That's really all I could say. But I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for life, and I'm grateful for the experience. It's definitely made me a stronger person, a stronger woman. I'm sure it'll make me a stronger mother in the future. I don't take life for granted at all. I think that's the biggest thing I learned from this experience. I don't take life for granted at all. Every day is a gift, and I take advantage of that, So I try to inspire other people as far as strength and being strong after any kind of loss, whether early miscarriage, late loss, infant loss. It's all the same. A loss is a loss. So I just encourage you all to be strong and having faith. That's the biggest thing that's going to keep us in this journey. So here we are a year later, and I'm still standing, and I'm still hopeful, and looking forward to our rainbow, and I'm just grateful. And so you guys continue to pray for me, and I just really thank you all. And you all take care. At the hospital, they gave me this, and it's like, I don't even know what you call it, but it's a blanket, but it's a bag as well. And this is the hat Nehemiah wore in a lot of his pictures. And there's a ton of stuff inside the bag. Some blankets he was wearing, dresses. They took a picture of him in this dress. It's probably stained, but I didn't want them to wash it. I just kept everything like it was. Little baby dress he wore. But there's a bunch of blankets in there, and I keep all his stuff in there. As far as, this is my favorite, just the hat. I got more hats, so that's everything in this like a little sachet they gave me at the hospital. Yeah, so I also wanted to show you my memory box and some of the things that I got from the hospital. This is a book I got from the hospital, and it's a memory book after you lose a baby. And it has a loving memory of Nehemiah Tyler Smith. This baby touched our lives in many ways. And it just has like the date of birth, and you can kind of like put your thoughts and feelings in it. Mementos, how I felt the night before. Interesting, they gave us these at the hospital. And that has Nehemiah Tyler Smith up there. So this is the actual memory box. They gave me two choices. I forgot what the other one looked like. But this is the actual memory box. And inside, this was the blanket that I held Nehemiah in. And it's handmade, and they gave me that at the hospital. Another soft blanket. And inside, this was the card they gave me at his candlelight service. And I actually kept the candle as well. For the candlelight service, I kept the candle. I have a ton of ultrasound pictures. You probably see this one in my intro. It's my favorite one. They said his legs was in the 90th percentile. My husband is 6 feet tall, so I'm sure he would have been a tall boy. Because we were being monitored so much, so we have a ton of ultrasound pictures. There's his boy parts. So we have, again, a ton of ultrasound pictures. More cards of his hair. More stuff. This says, hi, my name is Nehemiah. I don't know why this is out of focus. This was the pamper he was wearing. So they gave us that. They got different props in here that they took pictures of him with. I didn't like the pictures. They were really bad quality, so I really didn't like them. His footprint, handprint, 3 pounds, 6 ounces. Birth certificate. They actually gave me one. I didn't fill it out. It's not an official one, but I heard you can actually get an official one if you put in for it. His footprint, and just a lot of different stuff. The band that I wore at the hospital, the measuring tape they used to measure them. This is another band. It probably has my info on it, but that's what I wore at the hospital. So that's the memory box.